So the infinite oneness is everything, right? It's whatever you believe or don't believe. It's who we are. It's what we are created out of. We're matter. We're all one of the same energy that has been brought together. And in order to really understand that, it's kind of just a broad topic statement for a lot of people. Is like, oh yeah, this energy, it's this oneness, but it really does make sense how if you transcend the level of ego and you get rid of the I and you ascertain certain thoughts and certain wisdom patterns through studying and building the mind and getting an educated perspective so that way you can reason. It ultimately benefits your patient tenfold, because if you have a patient who has certain issues, and I myself as a chiropractor, I can't go and explain that to them, then who am I to be in a position of that kind of authority in a doctor's office to where these people are relying on me to know their bodies better than they will ever be able to understand. And if I can't describe their ailments to them in a way that makes it easier for them to understand, or makes it easier for them to go and correct themselves, then I'm failing as a chiropractor. And that's one of those things that Albert Einstein says: you can be super intelligent, but if you can't explain it to a layman in a layman's terms, you don't really understand it. And that's the negative impact of the infinite oneness. Is you can have the intellectual capacity, but if you don't have the mental fortitude for your other human beings, and to bring it down into a level of understanding that they can understand it, then you're not really transferring that knowledge. And that's really all this is about, is ascertaining knowledge and getting a better concept for how we as people function. And if I can't transition that into my patients, then I'm not doing a good job as a doctor. And that's where that one where, so you have the line and it's got the little curvature over the head. You miss those patients because, yeah, there's going to be really smart people that you're going to deal with, and they may be able to get by and better improve their health and their well-being through your corrective adjustments. I guess in this case, my corrective adjustments, we will be able to, well, I guess we won't be able to help them and to heal them, because if they have trouble with the intellectual capacity and they're subluxed, and then I go and try to be too fancy and I can't describe what it is I'm doing for them, then that's going to be missed out. And I like what the video had said, and how if I'm doing it for the money, then that's gonna show in my practice. You're gonna feel indifference to the treatment that I'm giving to the patient. If I'm just doing it for money, my demeanor is gonna be completely different than for somebody which is what I hope to be in my profession, is somebody who cares for the patient's well-being and their health and their overall improvement. It is my goal, my personal goal. Now, I guess this will sum up kind of the infinite oneness for me and how it's going to translate from my mind and my education that I'm learning right now, from my innate pathological balances that I've produced in myself through my material upbringing. My cells have done a good job to this point, and I'm trying to do a better job. So that being said, what I want to do is build a fundamental base that I can give the patients the information and the tools to where they can come back to me for corrective subluxations if they need to. But ultimately, I don't want them to have to keep coming back to me, because if I'm going to a chiropractor and I'm going for years and years and years and years and my back's not getting any better, then am I really doing anything for that patient? And my answer would be no. And so what I would need to do at that point is give them the tools to where they can go, they get that corrective adjustment for the subluxation, but they're also getting the knowledge behind the exercises and the strength and rehab, the overall aspect of chiropractic. They can go home and stretch if they need to. They do yoga poses, they do mental breath work, they do all aspects of nutritional health and well-being, and they do an overarching journey through the process of life, and they cut out negative habits. Then what are they doing at that point? They're bringing their family members into the healthy lifestyle if they want to be a part of that healthy lifestyle. And that's kind of where the infinite oneness comes, and it's my knowledge transferring to their knowledge, so that way their knowledge will then transfer into everybody else's knowledge. And in my personal opinion, that's all this life is really about, is going from one aspect of knowledge to another aspect of knowledge. And I'm picking up the breadcrumbs along the way, because if you look at a landscape of knowledge, it is a breadth of knowledge, right? Like what I will learn in this lifetime is nothing compared to the knowledge that is out there. And we as humans are going to be adapting and growing on our knowledge base. And as a doctor, I should be able to present this knowledge in a certain way to where my patient will be able to understand it, then go home and tell their family about it, and then now that ripple effect goes out into the community through them. And so that is where the infinite oneness comes into play, is just because I'm a doctor doesn't give me the right or the know-how to fix a patient, but it gives me an opportunity to give a patient the right and the know-how if I correctly demonstrate my knowledge through understanding and talking to a patient and giving them the tools to succeed without me, so that way they can give the community tools to succeed without them. And it's just a group. It's growing health, it's growing wealth, and it's growing knowledge. The oneness. It's all of us. Okay, done.